The heart to me is the ear for art, where creation is heard, where true freedom is conceived. It is the line life rings to reach us, the letter we all received years ago from Earth. The dark abyss where infinity is rooted. It is home, where I am allowed to die and choose to live. The heart is a treasure hunt, only where one hunts the treasure that they are, where the hunt is in being the treasure. A beautiful dance of entanglement with one's nature. I am not sold. I am committed to this dance, this rhythm. Welcome to the final episode of Meeting Myself. Heartfelt living. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Solwane Mukhomo and I'm so happy to have you in today's meeting. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and tuning in. It's been quite the journey. This is actually the final episode of Meeting Myself. I'm so grateful for anyone who has been through it with me, watching the episodes and sitting in on the meetings, liking the videos. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for all the support. If you are new here, please look around your screen. I'm pretty sure there's a red subscribe button somewhere there. Tap on it, join us, and let's get into today's episode that you have seen on the thumbnail. Is titled Heartfelt Living. This is the destination of the journey of meeting myself. It is also me meeting my destiny, basically, and choosing to live it. So without wasting time, let's get into today's. Well, the first thing we have on today's agenda are definitions. The first definition is heart, a hollow muscular organ that pumps the blood through the circulatory system by rhythmic contraction and dilation, the central and innermost part of something. The next word I have here is felt, which is derived from the term feel. So feel, be aware of through touching or being touched, experience an emotion or sensation. Living is the next word. Living, the pursuit of a lifestyle of the specified type. These are the three words that I found vital I found important to define for today's conversation. The place where I am at in my life right now. I am at a place where I am listening to this hollow muscular organ, trusting that it is connected to divine intelligence. It is touch. It is my connection to source, and I guess the intelligence of this holographic experience we're all having. I know that is my connection to it, and I'm trusting it by feeling whatever feeling, sensation, emotion it's delivering to me. I am allowing myself to be touched, and I'm allowing myself to experience whatever's being delivered to me through this divine intelligence, the knowing that is beyond my mind's comprehension. I am choosing to live my life through direction of my heart and my connection to divine intelligence and source. I believe that for me to be resourceful, I should be connected and aligned with source, and that means living from the heart. For me, that means heartfelt living, and that is where meeting myself has brought me. So the next thing on today's agenda is my personal experience with heartfelt living, what it has meant for me to live from the heart consciously, because I think whether we are conscious of it or not, the very essence of being alive and having this experience is coming from the heart, whether you are conscious of the messages from the heart or not. It is that. So when I became conscious and aware of the divine direction, that is divine direction and intelligence and orchestration that comes directly from my heart, these are the steps I took and how I connected and started to validate and hear it clearer and clearer. So I did this thing that everyone calls shadow work, which is basically embracing my pain, being aware and accepting the fact that I was in pain and I was suffering, instead of avoiding it. The reason I would avoid and suppress my pain is because I felt and thought that my pain was my fault. I believed that my pain was my fault, and this is programming and also just the internalized experience of my childhood, where I couldn't accept my pain because I always felt that it was my fault, and when I did express my pain, I would somewhat receive either shaming, be told I'm too sensitive, I will die from a heart attack, or somehow it's your fault. Whatever that's hurting you, you can't express it because you're going to have to explain why you got into that situation. So you get into this pattern of basically running away from your pain because your pain is your fault. And so I kind of stopped blaming myself, and basically sat with my pain and accepted it. This meant to do this, to be able to do this, to sit with my pain and accept it. It meant finding safety, feeling safe to express and process my pain. This happened through community. I think the episode where I speak about community and how vital it is, I explore the importance of community. So when your childhood and the environment you're immediately born into doesn't make room for your truth, it's hard for you to make room for your truth yourself. So my information, so I learned about the world and basically what constructed the beliefs that people around me had, and why they were behaving the way they did, why I had the beliefs I did, and why I was behaving the way I did. And then I started to understand my pain theoretically. And when I understood my pain theoretically in terms of what actually have I been going through, I understood this through therapy. I would go to therapy. I remember my therapist confirming that I have CPTSD. I confirmed this through talking to people who were going through the same things as me, and I connected to these people by sharing my truth, by sharing what I understood about my experience. And what I understood about my experience is that it's classic white supremacy, just trickling down into whatever original each life story has. And my family, whatever, we have our own original life story, and white supremacy has somewhat trickled into our systems of beliefs, and therefore distorted our perspectives and hurt us and caused us to act a certain way. So I started sharing a lot about just what I was seeing and what I understood, and then I connected to people who understood the same things, and I started to have a room to feel and express my pain. Even though I was at home and the environment, people were not ready to take accountability, I had people outside who could validate that, yeah, you are being hurt, So that helped me to let the hurt out and meet more of the parts of myself I was running away from because they hurt. Because I knew what was going on, I could sit with the pain. Because I had support, I could sit with the pain. Even now, there's still a lot of pain that just pours out of me. Based on whatever I'm experiencing in my reality, I'll be triggered, but I can now allow myself, without blame, without shame, without guilt, And I feel like I'm even like really understanding what emotions I actually am feeling, because sometimes you show up as someone who's angry or someone who just talks too much, whereas deep down inside you're hurt. Like, it's just a big wound that little you has made up so many theories, correct theories, incorrect theories, just to protect you from the hurt of maybe being at fault for that pain. So yeah, anyway, so I started understanding my pain. Understanding my pain meant finding names and words for what I was feeling and where what I was feeling was rooted. So I have abandonment wounds, I have rejection wounds, I have my mother and her father wound, you know, all those things. People talk about those things all the time. So I had to look into what beliefs those wounds planted in me. For you to face the beliefs that are planted in you, you need to feel the product of those beliefs. So I had to feel. So the feeling of my feelings, being aware, letting them process, allowed me to see what beliefs these emotions were rooted in. Lies, basically, that made just that I'm not enough, or that I don't belong, or that I'm not wanted. And maybe these are truths for the people who planted them in me, but they are not my truth. I accept myself. I am actively teaching myself how to not abandon myself. I love myself. I am enough. I value myself, you know, those types of things. So I had to go and see the lies and change them, and like actively work and show my inner child with a changed behavior and changing reality that those were other people's truths, not yours. Yeah, and I'm sorry that I believed them. It was to protect myself that I believed certain truths, and I let them navigate me and create my reality. I don't need to carry them anymore, and so I let them go, I guess. Like, yeah. And then like that, the next thing, that basically is integrating the unconscious into the conscious. So the parts of me that I was suppressing and running away from, the more I listen to my heart, the more it opens to welcome them and give them what they need. The rejected parts of me need acceptance. The unloved parts of me need nurturance. There's so many things that I now actively do to raise my inner child, to integrate this being that exists within me that has no concept of this world and only has concept of who they are and their innocence and their beauty and their own light. I basically am integrating the truth of this world with the truth of that light. So I'm integrating my darkness and my light and using them to create a better perspective so that I can navigate life better, not only like with a relaxed, calm mind, but better in terms of it feels good and it feels like what I am here to do, and not what the world is instructing me to do and to be. So basically that's what's happening. That's the whole journey of heartfelt living consciously. Those are the steps I went through. I went through awareness and acceptance of my pain. That happened through feeling safe enough to feel and express and process, and through the feeling and expressing and processing, I got to understand and like just really know what exactly I'm going through, and basically pluck out the bad seeds that were put inside me and plant and nurture new ones, and then basically just nurture. Now it's just integration and allowing what is dead to go and die, what is yet to be born, to have space and room to bloom and whatever. And yeah, that's kind of the journey. Next on today's agenda is why I needed to live life from my heart, why I needed to live heartfelt. So I think it's so obvious that I was not happy with life as a concept. I was not happy with my life. I remember it being prominent just how much I didn't understand why I am here or why any of us are here. Like what, like, and as much as I feel that Earth would still be fine without us, just as much as Earth would still be fine without this, that's my conception. But Earth decided that we should be here. I was thinking to myself yesterday that I actually finally realized that my life is me accepting an invitation from Earth, not from my mom, not from my dad, not from, I don't know what, some university, not from, like, I'm here to serve nature and serve the earth and experience it serve me, because it's doing that as well. So why I needed to live from my heart is that I needed to get out of survival mode. I needed to start living, because surviving felt futile. It felt like there was no point to me being here, and feeling that way created more thoughts that agreed with that, and an experience of reality that just agreed with that. And as much as I still like have hard moments and difficult life experiences now, I experience them knowing that they are here to give me strength, not to take me down, you know. So I needed to basically start living and not surviving. So I needed to see my life as what I want it to be. The second thing is that I needed to stop feeling stagnant. I felt so stagnant, and I know that I was struggling to act positively and constructively towards my life. It was even like, just, you know, when life feels meaningless, even like perspective wise, you can't see routes where you can go, because meaninglessness is a dead end. So I needed to see openings in my life path. I needed to act constructively so that things can open in my life and paths can open. I also needed to hear myself. I needed to hear myself. I think I realized that for me to live the life that I want, like it could only come from my heart. Even my mind, when I realize what happens in the mind and what the mind is as an organ and as a tool that I've been given, I realize that it's also, even my mind is not here to tell me who to be and what to do. My heart is, and I wanted to hear my heart. I wanted to feel my heart. I wanted to do the thing that people say they're doing when they say they're following their heart, you know. And lastly, I just truly wanted to create meaning. I realized also that that's all I've ever wanted. Like, literally, I've from childhood, I've looked at people's lives and known how different I needed mine to be, and in the most small, basic lifestyle kind of way. And I guess, like, I want to just start taking that and creating that, because that's what I want. And no one, like, if something is a wanting that is from your heart, then only your heart can direct you there. Literally, there's no textbook that's gonna take you to where your heart wants to go. Only your heart can take you there. So yeah, that's why I needed to live from my heart. The impact. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the impact of heartfelt living. I have three points. The first thing I have is that I felt living from my heart has had the impact of feeling like I have access to an energy portal, my energy portal, or an energy portal. So I have access to the station where energy is worked with. Like, that is just beautiful for me, because it means I have my own personal connection to the creator, where everything comes from. Like, my connection is my heart. My heart is my innermost central part, but my heart is my connection to the innermost central part of life itself, the rhythm that has us living. It also feels like being connected to the infinitely unknown. So for me, the infinitely unknown is just a safe place where no one can say you are wrong or right, where no one can judge you, where, like, basically perspective doesn't really exist. It's just comfort, black hole, comfortable black hole way of being, you know. I feel connected to that place, the place of rest and just comfort, through my heart, through this energy portal. This energy portal also feels, when it speaks and when I feel it, it feels like my personal guide to heaven and to my peace and my birthright. So when I feel when I feel pain or I feel anger, embracing it and accepting it and learning what it's here to teach me about it, whatever I'm experiencing, feels like walking towards myself, you know, like walking in the direction of my greater good, you know. I hope that makes sense. Another impact that I have experienced through heartfelt living is transmutation and creation. I am actively living the experience of transmuting and creating. I wasn't conscious of it, and I now am conscious of it. So heartfelt living has had the impact of showing me and making me conscious of my creativity and my ability to transmute. It has shown me that I have my own innate control panel. As much as it sucks that the world was trying to control me, I actually have a control panel that's just inside me that I get to use, that literally maneuvers this world just as I need to maneuver this world. It's like I have access to innate knowing, like just you know, like feel. It's like how children live based on feeling. They literally live based on feeling, and I have access to that, to live life based on feeling. Feeling feels like an innate knowing, so a knowing that is not about the mind, a knowing that is not about this 3D world, a knowing that is not about black and white, a knowing that is just deep and just is, you know. It feels like I'm experiencing, you know, TikTok has FYPs. It's like I'm experiencing my own algorithm, you know. Your heart is like that, your own personal, special, unique, magical, mysterious algorithm. Like everything that thing pops out is just for you. Wow. Every contraction, every dilation, it I don't know how many times my heart has contracted and dilated, and all of that just for me. Just for me. Wow. It feels like I have direct access to the world, and as someone who's always wanted to change the world, living from my heart feels like changing the world with all my power, my creation power and my transmutation power. The last impact of heartfelt living is that I have felt like I finally have access to my birthright. I finally have access to myself. I finally have access and I validate my truth. I finally have access and awareness of my presence, my embodiment, my peace, knowledge, access, growth, my limitations, my expansion, my innocence, my ease, the support, guidance, time, space, just the whole experience of being, which is my birthright, which I really went through a phase in my life where I just didn't appreciate being. And now, because I have done the work of meeting myself and the choice of living from my heart, I get to live in the birthright of appreciating my life and my existence. And that, I don't know what words to use, but that is quite beautiful of an impact, and I couldn't be happier. Lastly, I just wanted to basically explain to you guys what heartfelt living has meant to me. To be still and know that I am God. Heartfelt living means choosing expansion, communicating in the language of my nature, living through the godly curated algorithm of my life. It means being true and being self. Heartfelt living means being in my power.